Okay, let's first talk about what stem cells are. Stem cells, in the most basic sense. Well, let's go back to what cells are. Cells are the powerhouse of your entire body. Every single part of your body has cells, and that's what keeps everything alive. A stem cell is the beginner cell that creates all of the cells. Eventually, like in the beginning, it creates the cells and creates lots and lots of cells. And then the cells take over. Like the cells start to divide and shed and recreate themselves. So stem cells are no longer needed. They're always there. They're just not used after you become an adult, pretty much. It will go into your brain and it'll either reconstruct areas that weren't built correctly. It could encourage growth where growth stopped, like between synapses, which are the connections between nerve cells, where all of that information needs to go smoothly through in order for it to work properly throughout our bodies. It could encourage growth. It can repair. It can reorganize. And the biggest key to autism is inflammation. And I've said this all along. I always believed that autism came from inflammation, and my body is filled with inflammation. It always has been, and I don't even know what to do about that. I'm learning more and more each day, but let's talk about autism. Autism is a neurological condition. The reason why it's called a spectrum is because there are so many different ways that it can affect you and how it presents. So with autism, it involves the brain, it involves the shape of the brain, it involves how the brain communicates amongst everywhere and each other and then through the rest of the body. It is how the sensory system is organized so that it runs properly. It is a neurological condition. I'm not one of those parents that says, oh, but autism is just a different type of person. Autism should be celebrated. No, I don't think so. I'm sorry, I said what I said. Autism is affecting my son in a way that is making it so that he can't be home. She's home now. But not for long, because his aggression is so bad that I can't manage it anymore. So no, I'm not one of those people that will celebrate autism. It frustrates me to no end, and I want to fix it. Don't get me wrong. Stem cell therapy is not a cure. It's not it. But it will eradicate all of the inflammation in his brain and in his body. It could potentially fix the synapses, which is the connections between the nerves. It can make it so that the brain communicates better with itself and with the rest of the body. It could potentially give him more speech. It can help his sensory system so that he could tolerate the world a little bit better. And with speech and sensory being addressed, it will make Derek just a little bit more independent and a little less aggressive so that he can stay home. My ultimate goal here is to keep Derek home with Cameron and I, because he doesn't belong in an institution or a residential school. But if that's what I have to do to keep my other son safe and to keep us in a home, because throwing things through a window in an apartment complex is frowned upon, if you didn't know that. Well, let's talk about the money part. This therapy costs a lot of money. It relies on donated placenta and cords and cord blood. It has to go through a rigorous process to make sure that it's viable and able to be put into another human without making them sick. And then it has to go into the hands of a doctor that's willing to take on the risk of treating someone with it. So it is not cheap. In fact, it costs $17,500 to treat Derek. That treatment will go on for 6 months. We should see gains between 4 to 6, or sometimes if you're lucky 4 to 8 months, you will see a decline in gains. That doesn't mean that he's going to lose what he's gained. It just means that he won't make any more gains from that treatment. It means that we can go back and get more, but that's down the road. And right now, my goal is to just get him a little bit more speech and a little bit more basic understanding so that the impulsive aggression will subside. That's the goal. Because if I can get him just a little less aggressive, Derek's only aggressive like 10% of the time. The other 90%, he's an absolute dream. He's my firstborn. He is your typical firstborn. He follows rules. He likes to be a big brother, to boss around his little brother. He also likes to keep him safe. He wants rules to be followed. He doesn't want to upset me. He's just gentle and kind and sweet and a huge character and absolutely hilarious, and I love him. So that's the goal, and there I talked about it. As far as the money, please don't donate to this cause if you can't, if you're not comfortable. I don't want anybody thinking that they should feel obligated. I'm going to get a loan if I'm not successful with this fundraiser. There's other ways to do this. I'm just trying to avoid getting a loan because I am also trying to get them a house, so that one of the issues is that Derek has to get on the bus and go through that whole row of cars. And when he's super dysregulated and upset, he slams his head on the glass windows and windshields of cars. I don't mean just a little tap. Like, he takes his whole body, he goes back, and then he just goes forward and hits glass, and with his head right here. And it's something that he's done since he was little. It's just now that he's 140 pounds, he could do some very serious damage. He could get a concussion, or he could put his head through the glass and then potentially go blind. I mean, it's not safe. It's not safe for him. It's not safe for the aides that are catching him and trying to get him in the bus. Let's say for his brother. It's not safe for me now that he's 140 pounds. He's a big boy. I'm sorry, I have to go and do this fundraiser. The idea is that if I can raise a little bit of money, then I won't have to get such a hefty loan. And I can put other money that I'm going to make when I start my career towards buying them a house and having their own yard, so that when Derek does have episodes like this, hopefully there'll be much fewer and far in between after this treatment. But then that way, if he has these episodes, it's just my property and me that I have to worry about, and not all of the children outside that live here, because that's an issue too. When he gets off the bus and he's dysregulated, he will attack other children. It happened last summer. I wouldn't come to you for this if it wasn't serious. Just thank you for listening. Thank you for being a part of his journey. Thank you for believing in us. Leave the comments below so you can see some of the documents that I've gotten. I did already do the consult. The consult cost $300. I made the appointment. The appointment cost $500. So I'm already $800 in. This is happening. This isn't like a maybe I'll do it, or no. It's absolutely happening. His appointment's on August 5th. So I'm sure I'll talk more about it leading up to it. We have all summer. So if you want, I can try and record some of this so you can see what I'm talking about. The last thing I will say is that I had the school district sent a BCBA, which is a behavior analyst, to come out and observe him getting on and getting off the bus. And he definitely showed her what I'm talking about. Both days were not good days, and she said that in order to get him to the bus safely, there would need to be a 3-person escort. That's not possible. That's not possible. We're talking about hiring 3 people to come out here to just walk him safely from my house to the van. That's insane. So just know that this is warranted, and I'm not just blowing smoke. Like, this is a real situation that I've dealt with on a daily basis for many years, and we've just gotten to a point where he's too big, and I can't keep him safe anymore, and I can't keep others safe. So, but look in the comments underneath this video in Facebook, and I will show you some of those documents. Thank you for listening, and we'll be back with more videos. I also put those documents on the end of this video so that you can take a look at them if you'd like. You just have to pause to read because there's a lot of info on them.